Sierra, Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 4 of Life on the MidCard. We are back yet again, just 3 villainous heels talking up some WWE wrestling. On the mic, you got Mucifer. With my left, we got the one, the only, Dick the Knife. That's him. And then to my right, we got
Road Toad. I can't believe it's 4 episodes, dude.
Yeah.
Feels like it's been like, I don't know, at least 20.
It has been going on. What, a month into it? Not bad. We're already...
We're officially a series. We did.
are.
We made it.
One more, we're on iTunes.
I like the way you think.
Alright,
Yeah.
let's do
Like
this.
the way you
I'm
think.
down.
That's what I thought we agreed to 5. Because at that point, now the mic is out of return policy.
Pretty much. I might get some leeway, but still. Yeah. Anyways, today we got a pretty big show. We got the last Raw leading up to Elimination Chamber. Some decent things happening on main event SmackDown, nothing too crazy, but some decent storyline build up this Monday Night Raw. So this show will wrap up Monday Night Raw, give you some good insights, see what we see happening, and then finish it up with the second half talking all about Elimination Chamber, and then talk a little bit about what's coming up, and that's, of course, the show of the year, Wrestlemania. So let's jump into, of course, the opening segment. We start off Raw with Paul Heyman in the ring to start off cutting a promo. Nothing crazy. He's just kind of saying that he's heartbroken. You can clearly tell he's going to quit one way or another. I wasn't really...
What is he quitting? He's not quitting WWE because he's not employed by WWE. He's Punk's manager. Is he going to...
Apparently, he's going to leave him because it's what's best to do for Punk.
Yeah, alright.
I don't know if you guys heard, he loves Punk.
I do too.
Who doesn't?
I do too.
Yeah, I do too. I was just telling Dick, I really wish I would have bought that yellow Nexus shirt with the yellow logo. So badass. I just don't, I'm not a fan
Who
of that.
is it? Scalzetti's
Scalzetti, the Informer.
The
He has
Scals.
everything.
The Informer?
Yeah, he has
No. Alright.
He's in deeper than a splinter.
Jeez. Master?
Alright, so back on track. Solid promo, because Heyman, of course, can talk it up. I'm not really sure what was the point. I think, honestly, it was pure filler. I don't see the point of it at all. Of course, it ends up with CM Punk interrupting him and telling Paul Heyman that that he needs him, that together that he's going to continue his reign of 500 and whatever days he's at now.
I think the best part of that was when Punk comes out and tells him, listen to these people. They need you. They love you. I'm like, no, they're booing you. But
Yeah, it was really
I
good.
love Punk.
And then that hug, that so uncomfortable hug, where CM Punk looks like he's like doing something like behind his back, but it really isn't. He just always looks that uncomfortable.
Yeah.
CM Punk's the best, I swear. But yeah, CM Punk comes out, interrupts, tells him, no, I need you. Together, we're going to get the title back. So this gets, Paul Heyman to get hype again. He's like, yeah, you're right. Keeps hugging him, keeps, swoops him in his ear. you're the best in the world. The best in the world, which was really, really cool. Which leads to later on, of course, Paul Heyman trying to figure something out to get going. Which we'll find out later in the show, what his plans are. So we go to break, we come back, and we got Sexual Chocolate facing off against the great Khali.
Match of the year candidate right there.
Match of the year. When Khali's in it, it's always going to be a good one.
One of the best bumps of the year was that clothesline that Mark Henry gave him, and the most awkward fall. Like, slowly let me fall on my ass now. I'm like, really? That was... Oh, jeez.
Off topic, though, and I guess maybe no homo. Great Khali really doesn't have an ass. I don't know if you know. It's just
Good point there, sir.
It's lower back
Bone.
and then like into legs. Like if he got deep pants and if there was nothing there, I wouldn't be too shocked. Like I would be like, oh my god, that's disgusting. But at the same time, like so I come in.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Here's my question: when you're planning out this match, do they even talk? I don't think Mark Henry didn't even attempted to talk to the Great Khali on what the hell was going to be the spots, because it was slap on the chest, switch over, slap on the chest, and then Mark Henry was like, "There's no slap on the chest." Like, what's next?
Yeah, it did look very disorganized.
Head chop.
Headbutt.
And then he does that thing where whoever Khali's facing will sit down in the corner, and then Khali will put pressure on him using the legs. Like that's all he's got. He doesn't have a lot of moves just because physically the guy can't move.
Yeah, it's sad to watch at times.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, I was really, I was really fearful that is this guy really going to be put in the chamber? Because I thought, I don't know, they've done it in the past where they put him in, and it was just God, he was a former champion. I was really, really worried he was going to be in it, but thank God Mark Henry squashed him.
And then squashed him.
Thank God, Hornswoggle.
Oh God!
Yes.
I marked out a little bit.
Oh, I tweeted that shit. I said, "Thank you, I needed that." It's true.
But without him, he doesn't have a job. What else is he going to do? Besides work the house shows and, play with the kids? Got nothing else to do?
It just sounded wrong, but alright.
Why'd you gotta go there?
Honestly, the only good thing that comes from seeing Khali on TV is I see Natalya, but then it makes me sad, too, to see what she's, been reduced to. Yeah. Meanwhile, you got, that garbage Divas division, and it's just all bad around Khali.
Yeah. I mean, at least she's on TV, but you're 100% right. What the hell is she doing? She ain't doing nothing.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it either. And I honestly feel he's going to get future endeavor anytime soon. What else did he got after him after this? Besides, a squash match.
Build up Jinder to be the next Indian star. But
he's in 3
He's in 3
Yeah.
It's so awkward, too, because he really can't talk that good. So, what's his name? Slater talks, McIntyre talks, and then Jinder. They're all talking like rock stars, and he's like, 3MB! We are rock stars! Praise Allah! Pushkatish!
Man.
So yeah, we have that amazing match. We see Mark Henry destroy people, so that's great. Best news of the night, at least for me, but it tore Road Toad straight to tears. We go to Booker and Teddy to the backstage. They're talking about Elimination Chamber. You find out Ray is not in the chamber anymore. Road Toad, I
was pretty butthurt.
I didn't get a text for a good 20 minutes. He was really hurt.
God, dude, I was so hyped. I was like, oh, thank God. What was he doing in there?
If he was in the chamber, he would have been the last guy or the second to last guy, because he wouldn't have blasted anything in there.
And he can't do any spots in there, because he's got no knees. And, I don't know, he's useless at this point. I don't even know if kids like him anymore.
No, not at all. We do get something really cool out of this. I guess remember they were debating about who's going to be last in the chamber, who comes into view, Y2J. So immediately it's it'd be amazing to put it in the chamber. But of course, Booker T says he has to earn it. But Teddy says, I got an idea, and whispers something in his ear. And we got some inside information. Road Toad went deep investigation and found out what he said to his ear. Can you let us know what you heard? What whispered into the ear of Booker T from Teddy Long?
Tag team match player. Or what if he was like, The Undertaker?
Either or.
That idea sucks!
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting expecting it at all. Where Booker was like, that sucks. So I was like, what?
That's some black on black crime. That was just payback for all that time he'd be announcing with Michael Cole, and Michael Cole was just cutting him a new one because he really can't talk that fluently. Yeah. Or his only spot on the mic would be like, "Oh, look at here, dog! Oh, here we go!" And it's just like it's a kick to the gut. What's Sin Cara gonna do here, dog?
Or which one is it? When they were doing the two Sin Caras, he was so confused.
I still don't know who it is, dog.
One of them, he was like trying to explain to him if one of them has something on their shoe, that's the real one, or something fucking ridiculous.
Purple gloves, dog.
Undertaker versus Undertaker?
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, you like that?
So we find out that in order for Y2J to be in the chamber, he has to beat Daniel Bryan, which is of course going to lead to match of the show. Has to, with two great technicians in the ring. I mean, I was ready. That alone was worthwhile to watch Raw for.
I mean, last week you had Jericho against Punk, and then you got Jericho going against Daniel Bryan right away. Like, all right, I'm sticking around for these.
Right. We go into yet another promo in the backstage. We have Heyman going to Vicky's office to talk it up, trying to ask him to add a stipulation to a match. Before he can even get the words out, Vicky's on the phone, and of course, who's she on the phone with? None other than Mr. McMahon. So to what's going to happen here? Interrupts. He wants to talk to Vince. Pretty much, Paul begged Vince to get a no DQ or no count out stipulation put into the match, that if The Rock does so, that CM Punk then becomes the champion. And here's where I'm a little bit lost. What's the idea behind here that Vince immediately almost pretty much approves of it?
I'm thinking like maybe because it was over the phone, maybe it was fixed, maybe it was like a recording, and they were playing like recordings from like previous things that Vince says. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing I could think of, because other than that, I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't
right.
make sense.
He didn't even say what for. Like, I thought he said something along the lines of like, get it in paper or something like that.
Get it in writing, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I can see something happening where they twist it up come Elimination Chamber, something along the lines. But nonetheless, he agrees to it, and that's going to be added to the match later on. And of course, we're going to hear that The Rock is there, ready to cut a tremendous promo at the end of the night to close out Raw, and talk about the stipulation added to the match. But we'll get to that good part towards the end. So it's so good.
Save the best for last, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Then comes the match of the show. You have Y2J versus D-Bry, which was phenomenal, beginning to end. Really solid match. Everything was really, really fluid. One thing I wasn't too crazy about was the finish. I thought there were some really cool spots. The leading to the finish was really, really good, but the code breaker was pretty sloppy.
Yeah, he missed it.
Yeah, kind of sucked to end it with it. But nonetheless, what you get out of it is Y2J in the chamber, and I think that is phenomenal. I didn't think about
Y2J at all.
Yeah. I thought for sure just Raw. I didn't think even put him into the SmackDown chamber.
The way he even went about asking Booker about it, saying, his history in the chamber, his history being how many times he's been the champion, and plus he deserves it. It's better than, who are we looking at? Better than Khali being in there. Hell yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Y2J, baby! And then plus he did a good Booker T impression earlier on, too.
Oh,
so
yeah, the seven times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really, really, really cool. But definitely super happy to see Y2J in the match. I'm thinking he's going to be the workhorse in that one. I think he starts early. I think he's going to be probably number one in that match, and he's going to be in there for the long run. And we see what happens from there. Afterwards, we get, I don't know why we get this. We get Cena, Sheamus, and Ryback against 3MB. And if you're 3MB, you job by yourself. Now you're just jobbing together. I mean, what's the point? Like,
it's the modern day job squad. That's all they are.
Yeah, that's all it is.
God, it's so bad. And like the
At least the job squad knew they were jobbers. This is just, it's a damn shame watching these three.
Who came up with the gimmick? Who do you think? I mean, it has to be Heath, right? I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
He's the leader.
He was doing the one-man band.
And that, to a sense, that kind of worked because it was by himself. Like, okay, he's his own special little world. But I expect me to believe that three of them think the same thing if they're in a band. It was just really dumb.
These three just, no heat, no pop, no nothing. I think they just show up and people are just like, all right, whatever, bathroom break. They're the New Divas match. No one gives a shit about what they're doing.
It's kind of uncomfortable to watch because it's so embarrassing. Like, you never get that feeling when you're, like, embarrassed for somebody when they say something or do something stupid. That's what happens every time they come on TV. I'm like,
it's bad. It's truly bad.
Yeah, especially Drew McIntyre. Man, I think it's a big waste. I think I've said it before. But every time I see him, I'm like, yeah, that's what you've gone to. He came in to be, like, Intercontinental Championship, like almost instantly. You know, high praise, decent gimmick as being the chosen one. And then he goes to 3M. That's what we're working on right now. So, whatever. We have a squash match. I honestly didn't watch it. Did you guys watch it? That's when I
went. Give a the Justice League versus the 3MB. Nah, I'll pass.
Yeah. It's just build up, I guess, since we're going to be seeing, as they announced earlier on W.com, they announced the Cena Sheamus Ryback versus The Shield, which originally I thought was going to be an Elimination Chamber match. We come to find out.
Which would have been a terrible idea.
Right.
Booking standpoint, anyway. It would have been nice to see. It would have been nice to see the Shield, beat the shit out of the three of them, but there's no way they can
come out.
They were going to come out on top, or even look strong. To tell you the truth, I don't even think that.
I agree. Kind of sucks though because I thought they were going to for sure at least have 2 matches in the chamber, and now we only have 1, which goes right back to our discussion last week.
Which will open the show.
I think so.
Oh, absolutely. It'll open the show.
Yeah. Which is kind of, I don't know. Well, hopefully it'll be good. There's some good wrestlers in there, but I'm expecting to. As much, I don't know. It is what it is. So afterwards we have a review of what's going on with the Big Show, which of course is supposedly Alberto is trying to come out in character, humiliating him on SmackDown, throwing paint on him, stealing his wheels apparently. I guess that's what our people do.
I was like, shit. That is some in your face. This Raw was full of racism.
Yes, it was. Yeah, we will get to that. There was definitely full of racism. This is what really upset me the most. And Dick knows my pain.
Oh, yes. I knew right away.
Big Show goes on a rampage, and he has to knock out just random people. And who are the random they pick? Yoshitatsu? I'll take it.
I was like, what does he have against Jackie Chan? That poor man was just backstage meeting A-Rye. And he got punched. You know what? Keep it within the field of play. Okay? No one else has to get hurt here. Jesus.
Especially A-Rye. That's my guy. I think he's gonna be a really good talent in the future. I mean, yeah, he has a lot of growth left in him. But why you gotta punch A-Rye?
Dude, when I seen him on TV, I was like, oh,
yeah.
Jose's good.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
you knew it right away. You heard him talking and joking about Big Show, and I'm like, Jose, don't watch. This is going to end badly.
And that's like at least the second time he went off on A-Rye. I think when he first got fired or something, he threw him on a wall before A-Rye got, like, injured or whatever. So he got it out for my guy A-Rye, which I'm not a big fan of.
But he did. Who else did he knock out, though, that I'm sure you
figured?
Yes.
So he finally makes it to the ring, and he's going to get interviewed by Matt Striker, and I was like, only thing that makes it better if just Matt Striker gets demolished. And absolutely happens. Like,
mid-sentence. Mid-sentence.
I was so happy. I hate you, Matt Striker.
Oh, jeez.
Have you, like, gone on Matt Striker's, like, Twitter profile?
No.
Dude, it is some of the funniest shit ever. This guy literally is like, yeah, it'd be nice to have a girlfriend. On his fucking Twitter. I'm like,
is it
dude,
real?
Oh, it is. It's verified. It's got the blue check mark and everything.
Oh, like the blue checker where you got?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe I haven't been verified yet. 149 friends, man. Haven't been verified. That's some bullshit. But anyway, yeah, he's like, man, it'd be really nice to have a lady companion. I'm like, that's just fucking creepy, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're a weird guy.
Yeah.
You're on TV. It shouldn't be that hard for you to get chicks.
Apparently,
it's Matt Striker.
Yeah.
There you go. That's right.
Again, another one of those guys where if he was a nobody and we worked with him, I still wouldn't like him. Yeah, like if he was like,
pretty much.
I'd be like, it's that fucker Striker from computers. Fucking hate that
I kind of wish somebody was named Striker.
We're just gonna, next person that comes in that I don't like, I'm just gonna refer to him as Striker.
And
he'll think it's cool.
Yeah. She's like, I'm the Striker,
bro.
man.
I'll be like, yeah, you're fucking.
Then he gets super kicked right to the fucking jaw.
Jag off. Go pick up your teeth.
So what leads to what I think is going to be a Big Show promo. I was like, here we go. I'm going to talk. And luckily, he didn't talk, so even better.
Yeah.
Drove the message even better. Didn't have to even listen to him. Can we please end this rivalry, this whole thing, in this last match?
I agree.
Like, Big Show can just drag them on. Like, enough of the chase, enough of it's done. Like, just end this. Alberto's gonna retain. I'm saying it right now. Get rid of Big Show. I don't know. We'll leave that later on, what he can do later on, but just please end this now. For my sake, for everybody's sake.
I told you, he's been hogging up the fucking World Heavyweight Championship pay-per-view spots. With 3 in a row of Sheamus, and then now, 2 plus the 1 when he lost on SmackDown. It's like, alright, you're done with this fucking belt. Stop, please.
Yeah, it's literally been half a year of Big Show at the World Heavyweight position.
One thing I will say, even though I just threw him under the bus so much, I just don't want to see him anymore. He did make that title seem a lot more important when he took it from Sheamus. They just didn't go in the right direction afterwards, but he looked really good in that match, and he had a really good match with Alberto. So it wasn't a complete waste, but it just dragged on far too long. Like, you got what you needed off of it, and it just kept going. So hopefully that ends, come Elimination Chamber, because I am completely done with Big Show being a part of the World Heavyweight title picture. So then we go on to the rest of the racism show overall, which was I was so confused. I won't even I'm going to start from the basics. Ryder teleports to the ring. And of course, I was like, why is he on Raw? I was like, wait a minute. He got popular again from iTunes, so they're gonna fucking,
mention it.
Plug it in because it was WWE, and of course, there's Michael Cole. First thing he says, my boy Kevin's #1 song that I've heard on repeat every time I work with him, Hosky, and he swears to God the iTunes version's better. It sounds the same, Kevin, but regardless, I'm gonna back you up 100%.
What do you want to bet that WWE's taking that? It's like half.
Absolutely.
So splitting that bad boy, probably not even down the middle.
No.
Giving Ryder the 29 cents surcharge or whatever. Taking $1. Those bastards.
It doesn't surprise me at all. But of course, when he gets something, WWE got to get on there to leech right off of him, which really, really sucks. I'm going to go a little off subject before we go any further, because Kevin wanted me to plug this in. I'm going to plug it in for him. He said, and he's trying really hard because he wants Ryder to stay, but we all really think he's going to get future endeavor pretty soon. But he says, here's my idea. Here's my idea, Lucifer. All you got to do, turn him heel. He has a song, he's #1, he's better than everybody else. Make him the snotty, I'm better than everybody else because I have a #1 single out. That can kind of work, but who's he going to feud with? So, Kevin, good effort, my friend. We'll see if that ever happens, but I don't know. Ryder
maybe in TNA.
Oh.
Ooh. He can always feud with Santino. I mean, Tensai's face now, so Santino's got to beat somebody.
You think he'll turn his back on
Cobra is going down.
That could happen.
There it is, right there. Book it. WrestleMania 29. Book it.
Before he faces Dolph Ziggler, as he wants that match.
He was plugging it hard. He's like, this is my chance.
This is it. Not gonna happen.
Ziggler was like, no, I'm gonna go for a real belt.
Let's go back on track since I plugged in Kevin as much as I could. Ryder versus Swagger is what's gonna happen next. So Swagger comes out with the most random person I've ever seen in my life, and I was like, who in the world is this? And of course, I think it's Cole, or I forgot who it was, trying really hard to get me to think that I know who this is.
Oh, I know who that is. I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what a suplex is called. You don't know who that is.
Yeah, exactly. What was it? Zebekiah,
something like that, yeah.
Cutler or Coulter comes out with Swagger. I was really, really confused, but then I thought, what's the one thing Swagger can't do?
Talk.
Bingo.
Without a list.
Without it, right. So I was like, who else would come out with him than a future manager? So we have Ryder versus Swagger, which immediately I thought he was going to just tear Ryder apart. But Ryder comes out pretty strong, gets a broski boot on him, does something finally in the match. But apparently the Road Toad saw some in-detail action that I missed. Internal bleeding is what you were telling me happened?
Yeah, it was after the match, and I was like, where did that happen? So I went back in the match and looked at it, and Swagger comes out and drops a pretty solid kitchen sink, knee right to the gut. And right after that, he was holding his stomach, so I'm sure he was trying to sell it. But at the same time, I think it legit hurt because he had blood spackled all over his face.
I didn't even see it at all. Huh.
Yeah.
I missed it. But of course, Swagger wins, kind of show his dominance as he's going into the Elimination Chamber. And here's where I gotta give it to Dick, our number one historian of all things WWE. I was like, who the fuck is this? And of course, Dick got us the info. So take us back. Tell us what's going on.
Well, of course I had to go to that trusty WWE encyclopedia, but I do seem to remember back when Bradshaw was, what was it, Justin Hawk Bradshaw, something like that, where he had a pretty hillbilly-ish Carhartt wearing, hillbilly manager, like,
Dang.
I had to. I was waiting to pull that one out for a while.
Yeah, but for those of you who obviously can't see, I'm wearing a Carhartt, like, long sleeve shirt, and Moose was like, "Oh man, you look nice," and I was like, "Dude, this is a fucking Carhartt shirt. Like, I look like I just clocked off at the mill or something." And Dick's like, "Yeah, no, dude, that's definitely hillbilly." So like,
said he just needed to wear some Wolverines, and it was all good. No, but anyway, he was a pretty I guess like hillbilly-ish looking manager back then, whose beard was just as magnificent as the mustache that he had.
Mm-hmm.
But he was he was a manager back in the early '90s, way before the Attitude Era, more so like the Max Moon gimmick '90s. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
But then he starts talking and spitting out some pretty
At first, I was like, "What is he gonna talk about?
What's
what
the
connection is he gonna make with Swagger?"
What's the word I'm looking for? Some pretty racist shit, I think I would go with.
Yeah.
That's bad where my fiance is actually like, she's not paying attention, she's on the couch kind of like doing what she's doing, but then she's hearing some shit kind of like, they're saying that? You can't say that!
I see a lot of faces that don't look like mine. I was like, "Oh shit!"
I was like, "What does it mean? With those mustaches?"
Dude, I was waiting for the kill button. Like, he went out
He
there and
was
just let him
going-
have it.
I mean, it seemed very, like, this
Loose
man's a
attitude
little
there.
on the,
Loose
loose
edgy.
candy side.
I'll give them that. They're trying to be a little bit edgier. I
Yeah.
think they are. And this proved it, because I was like, God damn, like, I'm as white as it gets. And I was like, that's kind of offensive.
You were uncomfortable with it.
Oh, yeah, no, dude, I wasn't Hitler saluting in my front in my living room.
Yeah,
Like, it was...
so with that, it made me think, all right, I mean, when Swagger came back, a lot of people were kind of like, they wanted him to come back face and go after Cesaro.
Yeah.
With the whole no American can beat me, enter, Jack Swagger.
The All-American.
The All-American American. But now it looks more towards a whole, like a radical American where, I'm what this country is, I'm what's right with this country. If you're not like me, then I don't like you. You're not a real American. And you put him in the chamber, who's the champion right now, the big Mexican hero, Del Rio, and it's kind of like, uh-oh, I can kind of see some wheels turning, maybe.
Yeah, some
So,
possibilities.
we'll get to our chamber discussion later, but I think that's kind of like a little bit of the seeds that I'm seeing being planted.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was a little awkward, and I guess it did the job. I mean, it got us a little ruffled.
I think he hates immigrants. I think that's what he was trying to get at. I think
I
that's...
don't think it's just limited to the immigrants, though.
We the people.
Yeah, we the people, yes.
Yeah, I didn't cast it at all. But Roto was like, "You see, you got a catchphrase?" Like, "You get a catchphrase." It's like, "No,
Can't wait till the t-shirt comes out.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Matrix act on it.
Yeah.
I'm a little afraid they might track who's buying that shirt, though. Like, ooh, wait a minute.
Like, if I wear that in the wrong side of town, I get beat up.
Oh, jeez, bad. I'll wear my Soulbird one, though.
Ooh,
And we'll go.
I like it.
Man.
Oh,
Are we?
God.
I'm like, are we following the trend of what's going on here? It seems like a little. We're going off subject with a lot of these types of tones, I guess you could say. But you know what, Blake WWE.
That's exactly it. That's what they're going for, and they got it.
Yeah, they're
that's for sure. And he definitely needed, like you were saying, a mouthpiece. He needs somebody to talk for him. I thought you said there was rumor that the American Dream was going to be his mouthpiece.
God, that would have been so good. This guy right here, baby. This Jack Swagger. He's something else, baby. I'll tell you right now. You call him the All-American American. Come from the American Dream, baby. That's something else. I'll tell you right now, he's the real deal, baby.
That was
He
spot
just
on.
did the elbow, too.
That was
So,
spot on. Alright, enough of Swagger. Alright, he hates immigrants, and he's the All-American. Whatever. Good. Got a catchphrase, got a mouthpiece. Good for him.
And he's in the chamber now.
And he's in the chamber, so that's good, because I think he can add a lot of value. Also, very last, that pump handle powerbomb, solid.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Really damn good. Awesome move. With his stature, man.
No, he's a big guy. He's a real smooth guy, and he can work a ring. I mean, literally the one thing holding back was the fact that he really couldn't talk. And aside from his lisp, because I mean, just make
everything.
Everything.
That was a good stretch.
That was pretty good.
But you know, there's been people who have speech impediments and stuff that have been successful. I mean, I would argue that Cody Rhodes is very good on the mic. You know, even though he's got a little baby lisp going on there.
Yeah.
And then Dusty Rhodes was a damn commentator, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
True.
So I mean, that's not the point. He literally couldn't talk. His timing was off, and I think they were worried about putting him on live TV when it came to cutting promos.
Right. So we go back to Booker, which has been a lot of Raw, which I'm not complaining because I like these old school wrestling promos in the backstage. I'm a fan of all that old school stuff, so that was really, really cool. And who do we see show up? No other than the show-off, Dolph Ziggler, with your guy, Solberg, and AJ.
Gosh, she's so fun.
And he has a message.
She's
getting hotter. Yeah.
Hotter every
I think she's
week.
been hitting the gym with Zigzag. You know, I'm not doing that fake bake stuff, dog. She's in the gym putting in work on the tennis boards.
But she doesn't want the title, that's for sure.
She don't want that title, Cole. Daniel Bryan's making her go for it. She don't want that. I'm telling you, dog. She didn't want to be a part of this match.
Anyway, we find out that Ziggler is pretty upset. What is he upset about? He's mad Jericho is back and he's in the Elimination Chamber match. He said, I got rid of him. He's going to get rid of him again. So he wants in the Elimination Chamber match. Then Big E interrupts. And what did Big E say?
Honestly, I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think
He says something of importance, but regardless, he's going to earn his spot inside the chamber one way or another. And he has one opponent. And he doesn't say what opponent it is. So I'm at home like, please be Christian. Please be Christian. But it wasn't. It was the big red monster, Kane. So we hear that it's going to be Kane against Dolph for them the last spot in the Elimination Chamber match, which we'll get to later on. But nonetheless, I really wanted to be Christian. He's not back yet.
I am a little surprised that they filled up all the spots though today. I was figuring maybe they'd leave one for SmackDown and have Christian come back. But
Yeah.
I guess they wanted to do it all live TV.
Right. They probably wanted
think
to do it where someone was actually watching.
Ooh.
I'm just being honest.
It's the #1 show in sci-fi. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah. What's the second runner-up? Edge's shitty show, Heyman?
He has a show?
It's
Oh,
right after
Heyman, man.
I
SmackDown.
thought that was a movie.
No, it's a show.
Oh.
It's shitty.
It still
Oh.
probably beats like Sharktopus beats Reptilicus or one of those types of movies.
You hold your tongue. Those are solid flicks.
That's my.
They might not have Coen Brother production,
Yeah.
but you know what? They're doing it on
That's
low
my-
budget, and they're getting it.
My
Get it
dad
done.
watches that stuff so much, and I'm like, do you realize all the money that was spent on these garbage ass movies? What it could have went towards? But no, I want to make a shitty octopus with 14 legs and not tentacles, legs. I'm like, what the fuck is, what
You know
is
what?
this?
Once every blue moon, I'll get a dirty 30 of some Keystone, plop down, watch me some sci-fi all day long, and just
You're
get
such
shit
a liar.
hammered.
You don't fucking watch sci-fi.
What are you talking about?
Just not on Friday nights where they fight.
Easy,
That's what I heard.
JBL.
That's what I heard. So afterwards, we have Miz versus Cody Rhodes, which I don't remember the line, but I'm going to try my best. I thought it was pretty damn good. I was like, that's no way that he came up with it. Because Michael Cole said something along the lines of, the master of the mustachio magnificence, Cody Rhodes. I thought it was fucking awesome. So you have Cody Rhodes against The Miz, which they both have some decent, solid, movesets in the ring. We have a match against them too. And we have Cesaro on sitting ringside. That poor guy. I wonder if English is his first language. It clearly is not.
Clearly not. He
Clearly is
struggled.
not. Yeah.
And Cole was being a total dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cole was.
I thought you weren't supposed to be a heel anymore. I thought you were supposed to be the good
He's a
guy.
dick.
Yeah. Yeah. And he has a flag with him, and he's carrying the flag along with
I
him.
love it.
Yeah, that was really
So
good. Cesaro is a beast. Miz? Did you see what was new with Miz? I caught it. Did you caught it?
Miz got some new trunks, man.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I was a little afraid though of the. I've been noticing that Cody's been getting a not bad push recently, except for that squash match against Cena the day after.
Surprise.
Yeah,
The waste
right
of
after
Cody
the
Rhodes?
Rumble.
Yeah.
And so he's been like he beat Kofi I think on SmackDown, which
Who
no one
hasn't?
watches. Exactly. You know what? That's another thing too. Yeah.
You know what? I don't know if you guys know this, but it goes deep into the annals of WWE. I've squashed Kofi Kingston a handful of times.
Yeah, how the mighty have fallen with Kofi, seriously.
Poor guy.
But, so I was kind of like, alright, Miz. I don't know if they're still going with the him and Cesaro thing. At the start of the match, they kind of did a little, tussle on SmackDown. So I'm like, oh man, Miz is gonna get, might actually lose to Cody right in front of Cesaro. And then the fight went outside the ring.
Miz gets a really good kick in Cesaro.
Miz got a good
Looks
kick.
really damn good.
Not as good as the one that Cesaro did on him last week, but then things just went a turn for the worse if you were a Miz fan. But this Miz fan laughed and loved every bit of it. Cesaro
just slingshotted his ass.
beat the living hell out of that man.
I can't even describe it.
Spinning him. How do you
Back and forth.
Grabbed him by the legs, just back and forth against the rail, the barricade outside. I don't know how many times. It was a thing of
He
beauty.
pretty much used his head like a paddle ball from side to side on that fucking railing. And it looked really good. It looked really damn good.
I mean, as a Miz fan, I'm over here just cracking up saying, like, this is amazing, and then, like, oh shit, poor guy.
And then it turns to tears.
But it was still good.
And pure tears.
Then it was pure tears, yeah, but no. That was one of the best spots of it. That was so good.
It looks really good, and here's what I'm thinking. I mean, it looks really good that, Cesaro's, manhandling him, but here's the build-up, or at least what I see. Clearly, Ryback isn't going for this U.S. belt, which I thought he was going to, but apparently it's Miz
on
Cesaro.
three separate occasions. He thought he was going for a lower card belt.
Right. You're making Miz make that underdog kind of mentality. He keeps losing. He can't win that big one. He keeps getting, manhandled by the bigger, stronger, faster guys. Come WrestleMania, he's going to have that belt. It's going to be him and Cesaro. I don't think he'll win it soon, but come WrestleMania, he'll take it over. They're going to try really hard to get him over as a face. Only way they can do it is start building him as that quote-unquote underdog. Only way I can ever see it happening.
I'm telling you, well, with the Marine 3 coming out, he's got to have that U.S. title belt. That's
He'll
the
line
only
up
thing I can
perfectly.
think it. When does it come? I'm trying to remember. It's before Mania, so he has to have. To me, I think he has to have that belt before Mania.
Well, I mean, usually 3 TV losses equals a pay-per-view win. It's usually the rest.
Yeah, that is true.
Unless you're seeing
forgot you were a mathematician besides wrestling entrepreneur. So good.
Wrestling is like the 5th best thing I do.
That's what I heard.
Nice.
He hasn't said that in a while. No, he
hasn't. Because he's so damn good at wrestling, it's a lie. It's a whole-faced lie. I want to see what else he does so fucking good.
Damn.
Yeah, sorry. Whew.
Yeah.
Let me bring it back down. All right. Okay.
Enough about my boy Miz. Let's go to Lucifer's boy Tensai.
Dude, I'm on the A train.
Ooh, nice.
Like that plug in there.
I like that a
That was
lot.
pretty good. So we go to a break. We go to break. Come back. We have Primo and Epico in the ring. And is it just me or is Rosa kind of losing weight?
I don't know, but I don't know about you guys. I thought Primo and Epico were gonna win.
A couple weeks ago maybe, but
A couple months ago.
yeah,
Can you believe they were
Jesus Christ.
champions? This doesn't even like.
It's bad.
This makes my head explode.
But yeah, no, she looks damn good.
she's looking a lot.
Yeah, she's losing some weight. I mean, she wasn't fat to begin with, but she's looking more slender. She has a horrible tattoo. I don't know of what on her side.
Bad tattoo and bad Spanish.
And the worst fucking Spanish. I take offense to that, of course, being bilingual.
Well, me too.
And, well, us take the offense. I apologize.
Spanish is easily I don't know, 5th best language.
So let me just get really, really quick in this. I was watching WrestleMania. Their build up to WrestleMania. They were in Miami. So Vince's great idea. Why have somebody talking Spanish? So they picked Rosa, and it was the fucking worst Spanish I have ever heard being spoken. I'm like,
Was
why
that
are you talking?
Stone Spanish?
Yeah, not even. It wasn't even like level 1.
Yo soy muy grande.
Oh, jeez.
That's pretty much to the extent of what she said. But yeah,
But look good doing it. Yeah,
I'll give her that much.
Give her that.
much.
Yeah, I'll have 2.
I like how we started talking about this match and we haven't even gotten to them. We got on like a 3-minute rant.
In all honesty, who gives a shit?
I give a shit. My boy Tensai's in it.
Your boy?
Boy, Tensai.
He's becoming a face, bro. The A train's coming back.
I lost respect for him once they dropped the Lord. He's no longer Lord Tensai. And then he ditched Mr. Miyagi to the curb because he used to
The rice is not getting married. It was salt.
Whatever. Oh, what is he, plowing the streets? Showing salt? Like, yeah, it's so much more accurate.
Alright, we will go more into that. But we have 3-1 Epico against Tensai and Bruce Clay, because now apparently they're a tag team. We saw this coming a long time. But hey, Tensai's winning again. That's 3 wins in a row on TV.
He looks legit pumped.
And he looks like he's
yes!
having fun. He's having fun. Go Tensai. Good for him. Good for him.
Exactly.
Fuck Brodus Clay, but good for Tensai.
Brodus Clay, he got some titties on him.
They need to censor that shit, dude. Them things are just jumping out of his trunks, and it's gotta stop.
He wears the same gear that Bret Hart wore, but just doesn't fit in his Like
He's
that really
really-
low singlet.
Yeah.
And like them big ass salami nipples are hanging out. And they're fucking-
At least they're not Viscera suspenders.
Oh.
That was the fucking worst.
Yeah. Big
Why do you
vis.
wear the suspenders?
Big this.
And you like had to make sure they're covering the nipples just perfect every time. Fucking Viscera. Anyways, enough about nipples. You went on a rant.
Are you sure?
Since our nipples are pretty big by
I
now.
was gonna say, you're usually the nipple critique.
Yes, I am. We'll go any further today.
We won't.
Jeez. Anyways, Tensai wins, which is great. Good for him. He has a winning streak. He still has the whole Asian motif or whatever. I don't know when he's gonna turn into. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Just go back to A-Train. Go back to Albert and end it.
Yeah.
Might as well.
As much as we hate on Clay, because I hated him as much, I think it's gonna be beneficial because Albert's doing it for so long. At least Albert, as a big guy, has a decent moveset. Like when he first came out, he was doing some pretty neat stuff against some guys, and he really toned it down, of course, because he was, jobbing to everybody. But I could see that pretty beneficial to at least build him up somewhere. I'm giving him a chance. What I'm trying to say, even though I don't think he has much, but a chance nonetheless he'll get from me. That ends. We have the Shield then hit the ring. They come out to cut a promo, which I really don't know where they're going to go with, besides the fact that they're going to call out, Cena and the bunch to come out because they're going to take them out or whatever. They all talk, and I thought they all talked decent. I thought they were all pretty good on the mic. But there's some really good stuff on this. Cena's a failure. He is the problem. Cena is giving us the decade of injustice. 10 years of this.
The John
And I was
Cena
like,
problem. Was that it? The
Yeah,
Cena
the
problem?
John Cena problem, which I thought was really, really good.
I saw something good online where it was something along the lines of like, I thought you guys are supposed to make us hate you, Shield. No,
Yeah.
they're saying everything great. Everything is true.
Which
That's why it's kind of hard to not like them. They're just such a badass group. And
I don't know how much of that was fed to them as lines. I don't really think anybody would feed those type of lines to somebody. But if that was like all top of the head, hats off to you. That was really good stuff because it's stuff you can connect to and it makes sense and it's really like it hits you in the gut. It's some really good stuff to call out Cena for those sort of things. They keep calling him out. Nobody comes out. The lights go off. All nowhere, they teleport to the ring. We have Ryback, Cena, and Sheamus going at it to then, push away the Shield to then run back. And we all know it's going to be a 3-on-3 match, not an Elimination Chamber match, which I'm pretty happy about for this to be inside of, Elimination Chamber. Not that I'm mad that it's not in a chamber, but the good thing is, and me and Dick talked about this before, is that this could still give us a decent outcome if it's a 3-on-3. Because we all know Cena's not going to go down losing. We all know that Ryback's not going to go lose again to them. So, hopefully we can see somehow one way or another Shield prevail and Sheamus taking the blunt of the issue or whatnot. Maybe we turn to see Sheamus be the leader of the Shield. The Sheamus Shield.
Shenanigans. Evil shenanigans.
I hope not.
And they haven't said, besides just the 6-man tag, they haven't said if
It's like elimination or
tornado tag, standard tag action, no DQ. We don't know anything about that.
Probably ask Teddy. Get him on the mic.
he is the expert.
He is the expert when it comes to that. But yeah, you're right. We'll go more in depth later on when it comes to that match. But we go to the next segment of Raw. We have Sandow versus Alberto Del Rio, which is of course a squash match. You break up Team Road Scholars for them to pretty much get squashed, but nonetheless,
Sandow was tapping on the way down.
Yeah.
Like apparently that cross arm breaker is just like devastating.
Yeah.
It went from being like no one tapped out to it to all of a sudden like in midair Sandow was tapping.
Yeah. one thing to add really quick, Sandow starts off by cutting a promo, and he misses a line. But did he recover good or did he recover good? I don't know, where he just yells, "Shut up!" to the crowd. And of course, you have the Michael, which I can't stand. It's really getting to me already. But really good recovery to then, to get on the crowd, to still get some heat, and then recover back into the promo. Big things from Sandow. I see it coming. Of course, squash Alberto Del Rio. And then Alberto Del Rio did one thing that the Road Toad loves, and he pointed to one thing.
God, I was like,
Point
don't
to
you
the
do
ceiling, point to the wall.
it. Don't you
think
point
he
to
pointed-
that goddamn sign. Every
Sure
time.
enough, he did.
Someone had to.
Yeah.
Someone had to.
We should start getting a jar of, like, how many times they point to the fucking sign and just...
Like, wouldn't it be great if he didn't go to WrestleMania? I'd love it.
Damn.
Just
Just because he pointed.
Just for that reason.
Yeah.
What happens if Dolph points at it, though?
Well, he deserves it.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels never pointed to the sign. He might have.
I think he did.
Man, I think everyone has.
Where did the
at one
sign
point.
start? When was the birth
No,
of the
I don't know.
sign?
All right, Austin might not have. I think let's just throw that out. He probably flipped the sign. The bird.
That would be so funny.
That would have been great.
Well, didn't flip the bird.
True.
Earlier in Raw, we had a Fandango vignette, and then we had another one.
It's so bad.
Why?
Says you, sir. This is the second coming of Disco Inferno, and I welcome it.
I don't think it'll ever come to fruition.
Well, they put it
I
on the
think
back burner for a while, and then it, out of nowhere just started coming back more, and I'm like, what? Are they serious?
The man has a logo, so he'll be out.
Are they?
And you notice how they've like pronounced it, like Cole went out of his way to make sure it wasn't Fandango, it's Fandango.
Fun. Dang. Go.
Why does he have the? Why do they put the echo? Is what I want to know.
It's just bad. This is really bad.
Yeah,
The whole thing.
I don't see how that is. Maybe Brodus and Tensai need someone to feud with. Throw in another dancer. That's
Yeah, that has to
Maybe.
be it. But
I
that has
don't-
to be a tag team you can do. I mean, unless Tensai is gonna, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I don't know what's going on.
We'll make it as we get there.
Vince is really thinking this one's gonna work.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk about this, side. Can we just skip it?
Nope. What happened to Wade Barrett when he was walking
All
to
right.
the ring
So we have
for his
Wade
comfy
Barrett
match?
looking always as awesome as he always does, walking to the ring. Then we have, of course, the Road Toad. Can't have a Raw without Bo Dallas in it now.
I heard a battle cry. Come on. And
You would
then-
think he would have heard it. He would have known it was him prior.
I'm telling you.
This
This down
had-
the hallway, just running, screaming, you idiot.
This had to have been like tough. I can imagine you two watching this together. You got the big Bo Dallas fan and Road Toad, and then the big Wade Barrett fan and Mustafa, and just you guys would have came to
Yeah,
blows.
I think a super kick would have been involved somewhere, and I had to be on my toes.
No, Road Toad would have super kicked the TV. It's that simple.
I hate him.
Plain simple.
I hate him. I do.
What?
That's it. I just hate him.
Well, I noticed. Our Twitter account retweeted a Bo Dallas tweet. I noticed that too. The other
Yeah, I made the mistake of giving you two assholes ratings on the Twitter account. I looked at that, I was like, son of a bitch.
Oh, jeez.
I've been already playing innocent because it was not me.
Hell, I knew exactly who it was.
It was me.
It was me, Austin! That was good. And that was not premeditated. That was really good.
Oh, yes.
And
look at... Jeez.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
it's
spiking
nice.
volume. Anyways, we have Barrett versus Kofi. So Kofi comes out first. And what normally happens when you get jumped in the backstage? Do you make it to the match?
No.
Normally you're too messed up because they just beat the shit out of you.
But when you get jumped by a big pussy, you just shake it off.
Barrett like, what the fuck was that? Rip my shirt. What the fuck?
He's like, my t-shirt got ripped a little bit, but I'll be alright.
Knock my belt off and put that back on. I'm good.
Yeah. Barrett comes out,
Jeez.
beats on Kofi.
Yeah.
What's new? Same old, same old.
Same old.
That's how much Bo Dallas sucks. He can't even prevent someone from getting to the ring.
To then help Kofi beat somebody.
And one ref had to pull him off. I think Mike Yoda picked him up. Like, Bo Dallas,
You're done,
suck.
kid.
He had a good grip. He had a glove on, so he just
Oh,
grabbed on
jeez,
the
that glove.
Or grab him by that sissy ass hair.
That glove, I think, is the freaking merchandise they sold for Diesel back in the day. The little plastic ass glove.
Yeah, he probably
held
got
on
it
to
from
it.
Diesel. He
His
got it all
little
these
ass
years.
hand still can fit.
All right, enough of Bo because I can't.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyways, Wade wins. Of course he's gonna win. It was Kofi.
It was a good ass finish.
Yeah, decent finish.
Covered him with the ring apron and then bull hammer.
King didn't like it. He didn't like
Yeah.
it. He said I was cheating.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it, King.
Shut up, King.
Fuck you.
Why does the
Jeez.
bull hammer turn into? I need to wear more padding to not hurt you as much.
That's that, yeah.
I don't know. Did we talk about that? No wonder it rings a bell.
It's a good finish, though. It's a really good finisher. I like it.
Poor Cassius.
It's right up there with, probably nothing, actually.
Anyways, let's go to the next bat. We have the next bout would be Dolph versus Kane for then the final spot. So immediately I thought, well, hopefully Dolph wins. Then he can maybe win the elimination.
I was hoping not, because I'm like, if he wins, he's not going to cash in.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense storyline-wise. I knew he was going to lose, so I don't even know why he was wrestling. Other than the fact that I finally, I missed him last week.
Absolutely, who didn't? Okay match. Same old spots everywhere.
So,
Awesome DDT. Every time the DDT looks so good. Yeah. And then we get a famous search. I got happy when I saw that. Kane wins due to interference by AJ, which then, Big E catches AJ falling off the apron, which is pretty decent. Looked pretty cool, pretty clean. And then we find out that Kane would then be in the last spot. If you guys watch Raw closely, Cole kept saying, the belly of the beast. The belly of the beast. I'm like, why do you keep saying that? This is kind of dumb. And then here comes the vignette of the Elimination Chamber, and that's all I hear is the belly of the beast. Like, oh, no wonder Cole got to make his own fucking, what do you call it, lines. No, of course he gets it from the vignette that's going to be airing for it. I was about to give him credit for something, and of course he doesn't get it from me. So we see a Elimination Chamber match, which is great, but every single chamber was for a belt, and now we don't have one for a belt. So the vignette doesn't even get me I don't know.
It's still kind of cool because it leaves me because I don't know, whenever I go into an Elimination Chamber match, I'm like, unless something drastic's going to happen, most of the time someone's going to retain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at this time, I think Jericho's going to win. But anyone can win that, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
There's really not a jobber in there.
except for Kane.
I mean, most
Kane's
of the time...
not going to.
No, Kane's not going
the
to.
only one. Everyone else there I can see.
But Kofi Kingston's been in 3 of them, and you're like, that guy's not going to fucking win. Why got him in there?
Santino last year.
Yeah,
was the
exactly.
last one?
Santino Morale. What
was
the
the last one?
What the hell?
Yeah, so
All right, Booker.
this one has a decent amount of people that actually could come out on top. So not bad.
Right, and we'll get more into Elimination Chamber a little bit later on as we go to the second half of the show. But we end Raw with a Rock promo. So he's back. He wasn't there last week. He's there this week.
Had something good saved up, though.
Yeah. I think I was the only person that watched it as entirety. I think.
I watched it.
No, I
was furious, but I watched it.
again I think I mentioned it every episode. I watched the last half hour in the morning after I get out of work. So I'm I skipped through the majority of this damn thing. You said it in episode 1? The Brahma Bull's dead. I'm done with them. It's
So
pretty
take
bad.
us step by step, Roto. What happened in this promo?
Rock comes out wearing that goofy ass Under Armour shirt. Really? Really?
Really?
It's just so annoying. Just everything about him annoys me. Even when he does a spine buster and goes into the people's elbow, he does that stupid ass Herculean flex with his eyes squinting. I'm like, what the hell is with this guy? So like I said, yeah, Brahma Bull's dead. It's not the Brahma Bull. But anyway, he comes out, says finally The Rock has come back to whatever shithole they were in. And dude, I would be such a good heel.
Yeah.
Just because of I get in bad moods easy. So I just be like, yeah, we're back wherever the fuck this place is. I don't know. And he comes in, he does that whole song and dance and talks about how, he worked so hard to have this and then he's like, you know what? Nashville's important. Something really big happened here.
Which comes to mind. Okay, what did he win the title there?
That's what I'm thinking. Something wrestling related because we are on a wrestling show.
Correct.
But no, he's like, all right, story time with The Rock. And I'm like,
once I heard that's when I started doing it.
I knew
skip
exactly what he was
forward,
going to talk about.
skip
He's
forward.
talked about this before.
Has he?
That's been on TV before. Either that or in one of his DVDs. I knew exactly what the hell he was going to talk about.
No shit, I didn't know.
Yeah, you know.
I was expecting the penis joke and we didn't get it. Surprisingly.
Did we get a penis joke?
I don't recall.
No, we didn't get a penis
Well,
joke.
we got some, like,
Crackheads.
crackheads and gay humor with the hugging, like, Twilight bullshit.
Towards the end,
so,
right?
yeah.
That was towards the end.
So there's still kind of, like, one in there, but...
But anyway, just a story about how The Rock, when he was 15, he was so awesome when he was 15, apparently, that he could go to bars. Congratulations. He got to a bar, bought a car off a crackhead, was driving down the road, there's a crackhead in the car. He said, "Get out, cracky," which was hilarious, right?
Yeah.
That was good.
Cole thought it was the best thing
Oh,
ever.
yeah, Cole's like...
Side-splitting humor.
His little giggle. And, you know, I was like, when is CM Punk going to come out and end this fucking madness? Because it was terrible. It was hard to watch. Even my brother's like, man, Rock's just really not cool anymore, is he? It's like, no, he's not.
And that's for somebody that's out of it. You would think they're going to listen to whatever he
stopped
says.
watching when, like, you know, because he was a big Stone Cold guy, and, you know, I don't know, he stopped watching when that was all done. And, yeah, he's like, Rock's really not cool anymore, is he? I said, no, he's not. He's not.
I will say this.
I don't know if I'd cross the street to go see the motherfucker.
You would.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, I would. Maybe talk some shit to his big ass.
Fuck you, Rock. You suck. Hey, can you sign this for me?
Yeah, shove it in my face.
Oh, God.
Sell on eBay because you're too cheap and lazy to get a real job.
I'm going to be really honest with you. I listened to it, and yes, I felt the exact same way, but I did giggle once or twice. So it was, at least at one point, I giggled once. I never heard the story before anyways, but if it's a rerun, then God, I give him absolutely
That's why I'm so pissed.
Zero credit.
I'd heard the fucking story before. It was awful.
Ridiculous. But then Dick kind of alluded to it. CM Punk finally comes out, saves us. And what does CM Punk do, Rosa? What do we get from him?
How did it go? I can't remember.
He honestly didn't say a thing.
He just came out with Paul Heyman.
He just looked and he laughed and he was saying something back and forth to him.
Yeah,
Rock makes a comment about him and
Punk didn't even have a mic. He just came
Oh, you're
out
right,
and
he didn't have
watched.
it.
He just looked at him.
And then and then he came, The Rock said, you know, you can either take the ass whooping of a lifetime at the Chamber, which he said before at WrestleMania. But anyway. Or you can come down and take it from me right now. Because I'm going to do what I've always done since day one. I'm going to bring it. Which, Punk went down, acted like he was going to come back, went back in. They did like a little exchange. Punk ended up hitting him with a GTS and taking the belt, walking back up to the ramp and said, you can go ahead and bring it because every time you bring it, I'm just going to go ahead and take it. And I was like, that's a t-shirt right there.
Yeah. One last thing I say about The Rock. And I caught this. I'm not sure if you guys caught this, but ever since he came back, he repeats himself all the time. Just so I can get this, like he says, stacking the deck. He goes, stacking the deck, stacking the deck. And then he goes, stand up there and smell, stand up there and smell. And then perfectly clear. Perfect. Like, why do you keep repeating this? Like, we hear what you're saying, say it once.
He's not got it anymore, man. I mean, like, it's not like riding a bike. I mean, he's not just going to hop back on there after 10 years and cut good promos anymore. And it's not even like, oh, well, the PG era, you know, it's restricting him. Rock says whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah,
He's just not good at it anymore.
Yeah.
Like at Rumble, busting up blood. He repeated himself and said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And they're just not good promos anymore.
Yeah, and right there separates him from Punk. Punk doesn't need catchphrases. He just goes up there, talks, makes you feel his words, and that's it. I'm out of here.
And why do you think Punk's good at doing it? Because he does it every night.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're at house shows. I'm sure he cuts promos. He doesn't just come out there and walk out there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure he cuts promos. You know, it's something that he does all the time because that's what he is. He's a wrestler. Which, give Rock all the credit in the world. You know, he went from being, you know, a broke person. I mean, he lived in poverty, and now he's super, super rich, whether or not the movies he makes are good or not.
Yeah.
He makes a ton of money doing them, and he's self-made, so I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, don't come back and tell me that you're the people's champ still, because you're not.
Yeah.
Don't come back and tell me you're the Brahma Bull, because you're not. You're Dwayne Johnson. That's how you should wrestle, and that's what should be in your goddamn trunks, because that's all he is.
Yes.
He's not The Rock anymore. The Rock died 10 years ago, and I'm content with that.
It is what it is.
And another thing, too, is I was telling Lucifer about it. I got so angry. One, The Rock's been working 10 hard years for this moment. No, you fucking haven't. You've been gone. You've not been working hard to get that belt.
No.
So then what happens after Punk makes him go to sleep? Leaves, picks up the belt. What's the first thing fucking King has to say? You don't deserve it. You didn't earn that belt. Motherfucker, really? You know what? I don't think your ass earns or deserves a spot on that goddamn commentary booth anymore. Get the fuck out!
True.
No! And... Rocky!
Yeah, we all can agree that it's going a little bit downhill. But, same token, more people are watching.
We're watching it.
Well, we're going to watch it regardless.
I know.
This is what I'm saying.
matters is other people are watching.
We talk about ratings. I want to see when it's all said and done if the ratings were that much better. Because you can't go by WrestleMania alone.
Yeah.
Because there has been a time where WrestleMania was worse than last year. They're filling up bigger stadiums. They're advertising better. The buy rate's always going to get higher.
Yeah.
It is. It always has been. You can't be like, there's too many variables to say that, oh, it's just The Rock. Because it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have been last year because it was huge.
Right.
But now, like, I think The Rock in the small dose last year was better than The Rock that we're getting now. And I might be biased because it was either Rock or Cena. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm not going to root for Cena. I might as well root for The Rock, you know?
True.
Where now it's like, you know, favorite wrestler versus this douchebag. And I think it just amplifies the fact that, like, I really don't like The Rock anymore. Or Dwayne. Dewey. It's called Dewey. That's what CM Punk called him. He called him Dewey once.
a lot.
I was like, oh,
That was good stuff.
son of a gun.
Alrighty, well that wraps up Raw. Decent show. I thought it was pretty good. In terms of wrestling, I thought it was solid. Some decent promos. The Rock promo, I think, went really down south. He did give a shout out to Double J, Jeff Jarrett, so didn't see
Which
that
was the
happen.
best part of his whole promo.
Yeah,
Believe
pretty
that or
much.
not.
Alright guys, so we'll take a break. We'll come right back. We're going to talk about Elimination Chamber, break down the matches, give some predictions out, see where this leads to, and then wrap it up to what could possibly happen then at WrestleMania.
1, 2, is this on? Yo, Jimmy, hit me with that Triple H. Yeah, you let the music keep playing, Mr. Dumb. Yo, tell me whose time it is now. Yeah, just kicking it up here. Sometime, yo, here comes trouble. Not gonna listen to anybody. Tell me who and what to be. Not trying to be like everybody. Time to play, make believe. 'Cause I'm in the blind, in the blind, in the blind. Long time, I'll die. I'll time this time. Long time, I'll die. I'll die. We're not looking back, we've had enough. You don't know what trouble is. But the game, politics, sissy talk. Bullet holes, stupid rules. That's how it is. Oh, you stupid rules. Yo, you keep your finger off the switch, gun.
And we are back to Life on the MidCard episode number 4. And we're going to wrap up this episode by talking about the Elimination Chamber match. The Elimination Chamber pay-per-view that comes out this Sunday. We have a decent card. We have most of the card pretty much set in stone, with a couple of question marks. I'm not really sure if this is the entire card, but if anything, there might be a minor title as maybe the YouTube pre-show or something along those lines. But let's get right out into it. We have the World Heavyweight title match with Big Show versus Alberto Del Rio yet again. Honestly, I'm going with Alberto retaining. I don't think there is of any use having Big Show going to WrestleMania as champ. I don't really know where they can segue him into anything. What my mindset is, though, is they're going to be using Big Show against Ryback. Something along those lines, because once Ryback, breaks off against his whole Shield feud, I don't think this will lead into, WrestleMania. If not, they would have saved this in WrestleMania to have that 6-man tag. I don't think that will happen. And what I'm thinking is Alberto will retain. One way or another, Big Show is going to go against Ryback. I don't know how they're going to lead up to it, but it has to do something come WrestleMania. Alberto retains. I think one way or another, Ricardo will still somehow help out. Hopefully he doesn't start his own chant. Hopefully Ricardo starts it for him. He has a cheerleader for a reason. That's my bet. Dick, what do you got? Who do you have winning how and why?
I got Del Rio going for sure. Like you said, there really is no reason to have Big Show going into Mania as a champ. He was champ already. There's no reason, especially if you look at, let's say he wins, Del Rio's got to have a rematch. He's not going to have a rematch at Mania. I mean, it could be at SmackDown or anything like that, but I don't know. I just don't see it making sense in a storyline reason for Big Show. A thing I find odd about this match is that this is the third time they've met, and there's no stipulation. This is an actual
Just clean
fall,
one-on-one.
yeah, just 1-on-1 scheduled for one
Yeah.
fall match, and it's almost like that's how feuds are supposed to go in like reverse. It's supposed to be normal, and then we'll end it with the last man, but they got two out of the way, and this is a regular one. So I'm interested to see how, if Del Rio will take Big Show down cleanly. I think that's what I want to see. But I think Ricardo's going to have something to play with it, even if it's just a little distraction. But either way, Del Rio's going to go into Mania with the belt. Unless something, that I know Roto wants to see happens. But Del Rio's winning this match.
Cool.
Unless... Yeah, we'll go to that other little thing a little bit later. I don't want to steal Roto's thunder on that one. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I would probably see ADR winning against Big Show. The only thing I can think of is, even though these guys are both SmackDown guys, it might not just be a regular match. We still got a SmackDown episode to see if maybe they add a stipulation.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously them two versus each other, but I could see something where Big Show convinces Booker to, like, put in, like, a cage match or a cell.
Yeah.
Maybe not a cell, because that's pretty quick, but maybe like a cage match, just so that way he could argue that Ricardo Rodriguez has always interfered.
Yeah.
Something like that,
That's
where
not bad.
Ricardo's like banned from ringside. Something
Right.
like that, some kind of stipulation. And if that were the case, I don't see how Alberto Del Rio wins, but we'll see. Either way, I don't think it matters, because I personally believe that Ziggler's going to cash in. Just because there's got to be a reason why he's not on the card. He's been such an influential part of the brand since, TLC. Cena puts him over at TLC for the most part. And, now you don't have him on the pay-per-view right before WrestleMania. Doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense to me is that he cashes in. So I honestly don't know who will win the Big Show ADR match, but I think whoever the winner is gets cashed in on by Ziggler.
Yeah. Probably makes most sense is Alberto winning to then Big Show knocking him out for then him to take advantage of him being knocked out.
Yeah,
To knock out the Big Show would be a little bit.
if there's gonna be a cash in, that's really the only way I could see it is the KO punch after Big Show loses. He'll be pissed, knock out Del Rio, knock out Ricardo too for the hell of it. So there's no help when Ziggler comes out and cashes in.
Yeah, definitely it could be a possibility for a cash in. You bet fried pickles on this, so this is live on the air. I don't think he cashes. You think he does.
Yep.
So we got fried pickles betting on that. So we'll see where we go once we hit up Hooters. We will find out who wins that bet right there.
So we're going to have to get the fried pickles regardless.
It's
And
just
then
who
loser pays.
to the tab. You got it. By the way, then another match we have after that, we're gonna have Team Cena versus the Shield in a 6-man tag. And we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, I believe, is we don't really know, is it just a clean tag? Is it going to be elimination tag? It's definitely not going to be in the chamber. There's no way they're going to risk getting Cena hurt, because you know how fragile he is right now. And they would have announced it if it's in the chamber by now. So it's definitely not in the chamber. I think it's going to be just a basic a 6-man tag, 3-on-3. I'm really hoping for the Shield to win. Couple things that worry me. Number one, Dick's going to allude to this as well, as we talked about it many a times. You don't want Cena to go in there with a loss. And
I want him to, but as from a WWE standpoint,
exactly. You don't want him to go in with an out. And then you have Ryback, the Unstoppable Monster, that has already lost to them once, again in another tag team match. Him losing to them again. I don't know, the odds is 2-3 in my view. The only person that can lose in this match is going to be Sheamus. What is Sheamus going to do later after, Elimination Chamber? Who knows? But if anything, if Shield wins, it will be against Sheamus. My bet. All I care about though is we're going to see the Shield wrestle again. So is all I really care about. So hopefully it's a good, 25-minute, half an hour match because I really want to see some good action. I know Sheamus will have some really good spots with them. He's really athletic for his size. Cena will have a fisherman suplex one point or another, and we'll see what happens. But I think some solid wrestling from the Shield, so I'm happy for that in that instance.
We're actually going to, depending on the stipulations of the match, we're actually going to be able to see the Shield actually wrestle. I mean, TLC, we saw them brawl and did the whole, numbers game, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 3-on-2. This one, we're actually going to be able to see them in the ring, and I'm excited for that one. I mean, I don't follow NXT at all, so I don't really, I've never seen these guys before.
Yeah.
So to actually, see them in the ring going up against, the three top baby faces, the top dogs of WWE, and see how they hold up against them. And I'm excited for that. Like you said, I don't see Ryback going down, losing. I don't see him being pinned. No way in hell do I see Cena getting pinned.
He'll be pinned, but there'll be a kick.
Oh, it'll be a kick out. Touche, sir. There will be a kick out. But Sheamus is honestly he's the weak link in that three, in that trilogy there, and he's got to be the one. If they're going to lose, he's going to be the one to get pinned. I just hope that they don't kill the Shield's, momentum. Granted, they've only wrestled once, and I think that alone kind of is doing a little hurting to them. Because I'd like to see them,
You
in
want to
matches.
build up, yeah.
Not just one match and then 2 months later another one, and then they might lose. No, I don't want to see that. I could see that happen, which is sad, but I just don't want to see it.
Yeah, then the other bad part is that they don't get any momentum going into WrestleMania. Yeah, Cena and, Ryback gets momentum going into it, but what about them? I think they need it more. What about you, Roto? What do you got?
I don't see any way that Team Cena doesn't win, in all honesty. There'll be some good wrestling like Dick was talking about. If it's a traditional tag team match, you'll actually get to see some one-on-one action. You'll get to see, Ambrose by himself in the ring. You'll get to see Rollins. You'll get to see Reigns. I think it'll be a decent match. I honestly don't think it's going to be that good of a match. It's probably going to be one of the worst ones if we're not counting the Divas, scuffle if you want to call it a match. It'll be some hair pulling, some screaming, and,
A spear.
Yeah, right. But I don't think this is going to be a good match at all. I don't see how it can be, just because of the fact Sheamus, Cena, and Ryback in traditional tag team setting don't have any experience. What they do is just like Raws or Survivor Series. And let's be honest, it's not good tag team wrestling, so I don't see how this will end up being good tag team wrestling. You won't see good tag team spots. So I think it'll be messy. I think it'll be long. I think it'll be, like you said, like a 25-minute match. I don't have very high hopes for it, though.
I think it all depends also, too, on what part of the card it's going to be on. If it opens the show up, or second, if it's
No way,
a second
Cena
match.
opens the show. No way.
Or if it's a second match, it's crazy, too. We can talk about the order. What do you know? Open it with the name of the pay-per-view, the chamber. That's what sucks about it, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Honestly, I do, too.
Or they're going to open it again with another World Heavyweight title match, which is just starting to become the mid-card belt almost when you look at it. They're not even going to have the IC belt there. I don't think they're going to have the US one.
Maybe they start with the Divas.
That's a belt, right?
They have a belt? I think Jeff Hardy has it. Sorry.
Not overseas.
Definitely can't do that.
No, but I don't know. I think it all depends too. Like if this was the main event, I can see them going no DQ and just having a brawl, which would be nice. But I just don't want Cena. I don't want them to win.
Yeah, as much as we want to fight it, I don't. Unless, like you said, it ends in DQ or something, but I doubt it. I don't really see any other difference, and I don't see a purpose of them losing. I mean,
they put the booking in another predicament here of trying to make everyone has to look strong.
Yeah,
I think the only exception is Sheamus. Does he even look like he has plans to go on after Mania? I mean, he's not at the chamber, so he can't try to be the World Heavyweight Champ again. So that's already thrown out. I mean, yeah, I guess it just.
Honestly, Sheamus, I smell a heel turn coming. Yeah. Just because he didn't really work as a face as much as they wanted him to. He's a really good heel. At least I liked him better as a heel. And honestly, I think he's beyond the point of the world heavyweight. I think I can see him being, because you got to think about it, from long term, Rock's going to be gone. As far as heel standpoint in the WWE title picture, it's just CM Punk. That's all it is, and it's a load of faces. I mean, you've got Ryback who will eventually get there. You've got Cena, who's a lifelong face at this point. I don't see Sheamus going anywhere unless he makes a heel turn somehow, which could happen at this pay-per-view. That could be the swerve for this match.
Yeah.
It could be. And he could do the whole thing where he's tired of being, in Cena's shadow or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing positive that can come out of this match. Otherwise, like I said, I'm not looking forward to it at all.
It's bad though. All right, if let's say he starts hinting a turn toward, I'm Cena light, because that's basically what he is.
Yeah.
He's Cena light for SmackDown. Yeah. Nice.
Real good.
Yeah, off the cuff,
for you.
sir. Yeah,
Pretty good.
bad. But man, you got me flustered on that one. That was a good one. But it's just with the positioning of this pay-per-view right in front of Mania. All right, he might start, hinting a feud with Cena, but Cena's going to be preoccupied with what's going on in that.
Maybe it's not with Cena, then maybe it's with Ryback. Maybe he's
Ooh,
like,
all right, you know what?
Ryback came here out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he's the big dog. He's like, I've been here.
Yeah.
Something
All
like
right,
that, because both those guys are in no man's land. They got
True.
nothing going into WrestleMania.
Yeah,
They
that could
don't
definitely work. Besides
Something
Big Show,
like
I forget
that.
how
There we go. You heard it here first. I like it.
I like it.
There we go.
Could be. I'm
Good
pulling
stuff.
shit out of my ass, though.
They don't want
I'm trying to talk about something.
Creative seems to be pulling shit out of their ass too. So
Yeah, no different
not
there.
bad.
Only other thing that I can think of to add on to your idea of get more heels on that brand, but then to bring in, when Orton makes that turn, put him on that brand rather than the SmackDown brand.
The SmackDown brand's more balanced.
Yeah, it is. I think it's just wishful thinking on my part because I really want to see Cody get pushed to that main event. I can see him being pushed that way as the world heavyweight, as a heel, as that whiny, kind of like how Christian did a couple of years back against Orton. I can see him kind of fitting that mold. So I think it's a good idea. What you think about a heel turn with Sheamus would be a good idea, along with possibly Orton maybe switching the sides there, since you're right, they need him. They definitely do need him. We do have then also the gimmick match of the pay-per-view, the Elimination Chamber match, that has only former World Heavyweight Champions. We have Y2J, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, the World's Strongest Man, Mark Henry, and then Kane and Swagger. Why Kane is in this match is still a mystery to me. Possibility of him turning on D-Bry, maybe. But they still have the belts. I don't see how they can turn each other when they don't have the belts. I can see them turning after they lose the belts to somebody, but possibility happening there with Kane. My pick to win this match, I'm gonna go with Mark Henry. I just think he did just a phenomenal job when he came and he beat Orton for that belt. I thought he looked super monstrous. I thought that is what a heel needs to be. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when he destroyed Ray, I was a little scared. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling you that bonsai drop or whatever he did, it was impressive.
Yeah,
I think he's what put Mysterio out of the Chamber match. Well, according to them. not
Good
me.
for him.
Oh, gee.
I think I'm gonna add Mark Henry to the list of I never want to see that on the card when I walk in. Besides X-Pac and everybody else, I'm gonna add in Mark Henry because that man's BO has to be off the fucking charts. The man sweats so damn much.
I mean, he walks out. I don't know if it's, water, oil. I think it's sweat when he walks
I
out.
think it's pure sweat.
And the hair looks like it's a bit on the nasty side. It looks like he was at an Incubus concert in the late 90s. That's pretty bad, that hair.
It's got them loose dreads. They're not even tight. They're just
He's getting further and further back.
Yeah, they are.
He's got one strand. He's got one lock that goes across. He's like the Gene Katie of fucking black wrestlers.
It's nice.
Yeah, I'm going to add him to the list of people I don't want to see on the card that I have to wrestle because I think that man's heel is ridiculous. But regardless, I think he is a monster heel. They need it. And you want to make somebody look really good as a babyface. You can definitely put somebody over. You want to really make Alberto that babyface of SmackDown.
That monster-killing babyface of SmackDown, too.
Yeah. I would really like that. And I think Henry deserves to be somewhere in Mania because I can't recall the last time he was something of decent importance in WrestleMania. So I think that's my pick. Just for shits and giggles, I think Y2J starts off the match. along with Deep Rye. I think you're gonna have the two technical wrestlers just show off. No Dolph Ziggler as much as I wish it was. They will have solid match. I think Orton comes in, and then you have Kane, and I think you have Swagger, and then you finish off with Henry. And I think Swagger's gonna make a big impression come this Elimination Chamber. I think he's gonna be probably the one to eliminate the most people out of there. I think he'll eliminate Y2J. I think he'll eliminate Deep Rye. And then after that, I don't know where they're going to go with, but I can definitely see that order. And my pick is Henry. The possibility of that happening, I'm not really that 100% behind. But to me, I think that's my wishful thinking. I'm going to go with Henry on that. What do you got, Dick, for Elimination Chamber match?
Honestly, I think everybody with the exception of Kane, you can make a case for them to win. Y2J coming back, getting the belt, kind of beats what he did last year when he came back. I mean, he came back and helped put people over, which is, great. But this one, he came back, they awarded him a belt. They did it to The Rock. Why not to Y2J? Daniel Bryan, it would be nice. I think him and Del Rio would be a great feud going to technical wrestlers. That would be a good one to see. Mm-hmm. Two submission artists going at it. Orton, start the heel turn. It'd be great to see that. I'm thinking my pick, it's not necessarily who I would like. From a fan standpoint, I'd love to see Jericho win. From a fan standpoint. But from a storyline and from a development point that I could see, I'd like to see Swagger take it. Only because you saw how he came out on Raw as this, super radical, real American, and his old Uncle Zeb or whatever the hell that guy was, whose mustache upstaged Cody Rhodes. Now I'm kind of feeling sorry for him on that one.
Yeah. Get him a shirt.
Got jobs.
Yeah.
He got mustache
poor
jobs.
guy. But I can see him going after the Mexican hero Del Rio. I mean, he kind of seemed like he was hinting at that, or his mouthpiece was hinting at that.
Yeah.
I can see Swagger being a pretty darn good heel against Del Rio.
What better way to build a heat on him by
geez.
definitely doing that? I think you have a really good solid point on that. You make him go in with that mindset, and you're gonna help push the babyface a lot, and you're gonna have a lot of people hate because racism isn't something you're not gonna see in wrestling often. And
I think it's almost like it's almost a reverse racism standpoint in terms of wrestling, where in the 80s you had everyone's hating America. And you got the big, you got Hogan, pure real American. And now you got somebody who is American hating on the other races, and then you got Del Rio fighting for it. It's almost like a flip of storylines from the 80s.
So you're saying be a star.
Be a star. Yes. Indeed.
Be a star. Now
You know what? Honestly,
be a star.
Speaking of
That's the new one.
Speaking of be a star, when I was watching that, terrible Rock promo at the end of Raw, and, Rock calling them, like, lovey-dovey Twilight characters and all that shit. I just wanted Punk just to mouth the words, like, be a star, Rock. Way to be a star. Like, you're over here calling people, ragging on Vicky Guerrero, calling her ugly, calling the other guy, like, bitch tits, calling them, very homoerotic type of joke. Like, way to be a star, Rock. That amazing.
A great jab.
Vince would have just been like, oh shit!
He would have stopped counting his money. He's like, what are you here?
Like, is he mocking or be? Oh no. That would have been so good.
Dump him.
Yeah, for real.
Pretty much.
He gets dropped in the Brood's entrance, which is still on the ramp for some reason.
Gangrel's
down there.
Yeah,
I'm waiting. He's out there fanging and banging.
He's like, did my Jimmy Jones get here? Because I'm fucking...
Like, nope, Lesnar's not here today.
It took me a while.
There we go.
Good job, you got one in there. Alright, so, Roto, what do you got for the Elimination Chamber match? What do you got?
One of two things happens. I honestly don't know who's going to win, so I'm going to do it this way. We've got some faces and we've got some heels.
Alright, check.
Berto's a face.
Check.
Straight up face. The heel wins. Ziggler does not cash in. But if a face wins, Ziggler cashes in. Because it wouldn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? If Alberto wins,
yeah,
and he's going into WrestleMania, like face doesn't make sense. I think the Swagger one really makes sense. Because why else would they really like push, the anti-immigrant thing?
Yeah.
It pretty much, other than Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara, I mean, Alberto's really the only Mexican dude out there for the most part that wrestles. I mean, Huni goes back there sometimes when he has to stunt double for Sin Cara.
Pretty much.
But if a face wins, the only thing I can think of is Ziggler cashed in or will cash in, depending on how the lineup goes.
Yeah.
I honestly see Jericho Ziggler. So I see Jericho winning this and Ziggler cashing in, whether it was before this match or after this match, however the lineup goes. But if Ziggler does not cash in, it's probably going to be either Henry or, like Dick was saying, Swagger makes a ton of sense. But honestly, all these guys I'd be cool with any of these guys winning. Other than Kane. Kane makes more sense.
I mean, and nothing against Kane at all.
It just doesn't fit anywhere.
He's just the filler.
I see something like you were alluding to where Kane and Daniel Bryan being in the same match. Something's going to happen, and it would be really cool to see tag team champions that duke it out at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And they're still champs.
Yeah, absolutely.
It gives them both something to do. You can finally break them off, and then hopefully rebuild then the tag team division, which now consists of Tensai and Stardust Collection.
Right, but to not beat around the bush so bad, I'm going with Y2J.
Y2J.
Yep.
And again, like you were saying, it all depends almost where
because it can't be
card.
It can't be face heel at WrestleMania.
And it all depends on the card. I mean,
without any sort of build up.
Right.
I think it would be good if the Chambers before the World Heavyweight Title match and Y2J wins it, and then Ziggler goes and cashes in. I mean, he alluded that he wanted Y2J out of the Chamber match. It would be great that he cashes in just so he could beat Jericho at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That seems something very show-offy,
Honestly, it will give away, regardless of how the order is. So, like, if the Chambers first and Jericho wins, we all know that Ziggler's going to cash in.
And it sucks, too, because this is exactly what was going on with the Rumble when we were trying to predict it last month, when we were saying it all depends which match is first. If it's Rock and Punk before the Rumble, Rock's winning, and then Punk's coming in the Rumble and winning.
Which is cool. I mean, it leaves the aspect of surprise. Because long story short, we want to be surprised.
Yeah, and then once we found out that Rumble was before the Rock match, you knew. There was no...
Yeah. The only reason I'm going with Ziggler not cashing in the Chamber is the fact that his gimmick is he wants to steal the show. What a better way to steal the biggest show of the year and steal WrestleMania. That's the only reason I'm thinking that he's going to cash in come WrestleMania. But that would kind of suck though. I mean, thinking of what you're talking about, Roto, is what he's doing at WrestleMania. What matches he have?
He would literally be out of two pay-per-views in a row.
Yeah.
And he would have no purpose on any kind of build-up for a storyline, because then he gets lost in no man's land. And right now he's got a thing with Jericho, and kind of, for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll call it a feud.
Yeah.
And if Jericho is going to WrestleMania to fight, to go against someone else, it leaves him in the middle of nowhere, which means one of two things: that he'll cash in, or that for whatever reason the brand has decided that they don't want to back Ziggler anymore, which I don't see happening. They put so much time into him.
Yeah. So
we'll be able to tell, depending on which one comes first, the outcome of one will lead to the outcome of the other.
I'm gonna go with this. Last point. I'm gonna go with this. When they have that match in the Chamber, you're gonna have Y2J get distracted by Ziggler. You're gonna come out, say something through the big ass fucking chain and whatnot. Get his attention. Someone's gonna eliminate Y2J because he got his distracted and whatnot. They go into WrestleMania. They're probably the opening match. They have an amazing match. Like God, that guy is phenomenal. And then you have the World Heavyweight towards the end of it. He catches him, then he leaves as champion come WrestleMania. That's what I'm gonna go with on that. Because now that you can't put the thoughts in my head of how can it happen. The only thing I can see is them leading to extending their feud a little further. He's not in the match with him. He still wanted to be in it originally at Raw. So how can he get back into it? I can see him somehow distracting him one way or another.
And then Cena will steal his thunder at Mania.
I don't know.
What if he hurts him before the elimination pay-per-view match or elimination chamber match, just like Edge did with Kofi one year?
Just like Sorry, go back.
No, yeah, he will succeed. Odell's like, I'm gonna get you.
Hey, that underdog has a bite.
Yeah. But I mean, what if he could do that too? I mean, there's literally a ton of ways that this could go. And in all honesty, it could go the most vanilla way. If we know the WWE like we know the WWE,
Yeah, they've been playing it safe recently.
it'll go pretty vanilla.
And that's why I'm liking the lineup for the chamber match. Is there's a lot of, you look at it and a lot of people, again with the exception of Kane,
It can go a number of ways.
yeah, and it's not bad.
Or you really can't
starting-
complain. I mean,
you
you want to be
can't.
able to be like Roto said. You want to get surprised. You want to know. You don't want to have to. Yes, it's good to guess, but when they just give you that curveball, that's what you're aiming for. We're gonna have the main event at the Chamber is gonna be CM Punk versus Rock for the WWE title. I don't see any way CM Punk winning this match, unfortunately. I think Rock goes in as champ to WrestleMania. That will then allude to Rock versus Cena for twice in a lifetime, is all I can think of. One thing that I'm kind of confused at is why add the stipulation. There has to be a reason why to add that stipulation. I think it's kind of to safeguard what's going to be happening in the background. As we kind of talked in the past, there was talks of CM Punk facing The Undertaker come WrestleMania. I do not see that happening. There's how to build that up in so little time for Taker versus CM Punk, and for what reason? I don't see a reason why he would challenge Undertaker. And the Undertaker is saying, okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, okay, yeah, you had the longest title reign, but I'm 20-0. What does that matter? You know what I mean? So I can see something along the stipulation being the focus on this. My thing is the safeguard will be on there. Possibility of Rock versus Cena versus then CM Punk. Benefit off of that, you finally have CM Punk main event at WrestleMania. His dream. I would think Vince is going to give it to him eventually. I wish it would be a match that would really kind of solidify him as a singles competitor. Him being the spotlight. Regardless, he'll be the best athlete in the ring with the other two anyways. I don't know. It's a really big up in the air. I for sure know Rock's going to win. That's my pick. Unfortunately, where they go after that, I think the stipulation will play a part. I don't think it's anything crazy. I think one way or another, Paul Heyman's going to try to help out. He won't. The Rock will then, take advantage of it and then take out CM Punk, unfortunately. Take what you got for the title match.
You know what? I'm gonna throw it out there and say Punk's winning. I'll say it only because I can see Heyman doing some shit, or even the Shield coming out and attacking Punk to make Rock get disqualified, which will give Punk the belt. The no count out, no
DQ.
if Rock gets DQ'd or counted out, he loses the belt. I can see that. All right, Punk will get his belt back, his baby back. Rock would have to get his rematch, challenge him in Mania. Cena's already guaranteed at Mania. Here's your triple threat. And then something that we could allude to later on. Even I see Cena beating The Rock at Mania, pinning him in that triple threat match, and Punk just kind of like, you didn't pin me, you didn't take the belt from me, so I'm still the champion for 500 and whatever, his countdown continues.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I'm seeing it. Maybe it's because that's what I want to see, but you're right. It's one of those. It's kind of like the Rumble. The Rock's going to win it, but just in my mind, I'm holding on to that hope. I'm picking Punk to win it. That'll be the difficult one or the disillusioned one, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, valid points though. All definitely possibilities that can happen.
Because
I
can
can
see it.
still in the main event, which I think what we all want.
And he's still calling himself the champion. He's still taking count. What better way to keep count would be to regain the title, take it to Mania, lose it by not even getting pinned, and still say, you didn't beat me, Cena, because you can never beat me.
Yeah.
And I'm still the champion. There's more, feuds with that.
And
going on.
WWE has kind of alluded to the fact that that feud isn't done yet. That feud hasn't culminated.
Oh, it never finished because of Cena got hurt. Ryback had to take over. If anything, it just took a few months, maybe half a year back seat. And again, what you were saying earlier about the Undertaker, I don't see him coming back. But then it was supposed to, the whole big 4 matches that were leaked a month ago, were Punk and Undertaker was the main one, or one of the main ones, I should say. I think you were saying that it's too short of a time to build a feud. I mean, Mania, a month and a half away. There's no pay-per-view in March, so you can kind of say there's a bit of a time. But I don't know. I just don't see Taker coming back.
Yeah, especially
what's the point?
How many shows can he make till then? You know?
Yeah, true.
He's not going to travel.
There's no point for him to come back if Punk's not the champion. Maybe
Streak versus Streak would have been phenomenal.
Streak versus Streak would have been great.
Because then you really don't know.
You don't
who's
know
gonna
who's
win.
winning. Yeah, it's true.
And they could be a heartbreaker. So Roto, what do you got for the
Either way, whoever were to win that match would have been like, oh man,
that would have been something nobody could predict, really.
Yeah.
So in the back of my mind, the stipulation with if Rock gets disqualified, he loses the belt. The only thing I could think of is pretty much the exact same thing that Dick was saying with the Shield. Substitute with Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
And then they could play, like, because they played the whole thing, like, where Heyman said, you know, Vince, I had nothing to do with Brock. I can't control Brock. He's doing his own thing. Where he comes out, like, CM Punk's about to get the win, and then all of a sudden Brock Lesnar's music hits. And he comes down to the ramp, comes down, Paul Heyman's, like, trying to stop him. He shoves Paul out of the way, goes up, looks at Punk, Punk gets in his face, and then F5s him, but in all actuality, like, maybe Punk wins. Because, like, unless The Undertaker does something to interfere, and that could really just jumpstart a rivalry going into WrestleMania. I mean, yeah, then Punk's in no man's land. Because, I mean, and honestly, we talk about, like, those 4 matches being etched in stone. Vince McMahon changes his mind nightly.
it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, that was months ago.
Really.
That is, like, years ago in Vince time when it comes to storylines.
True.
So, I mean, he could have walked in and been like, you know, since with Undertaker being out, I mean, it was supposed to be Sheamus and Randy Orton. Neither of those two are going
That's
to be.
true. I mean,
That's not going to happen.
No.
So that's out the window. Undertaker looks to be out the window. So, I mean, in all actuality, I mean, it could be a triple threat. And the only way I could see that actually happening is if Punk wins, but in a really snaky way to where Rock gets his rematch, and like Dick said, Cena's already there.
Yeah.
And then Punk finally would get to... Then I would be super pumped for WrestleMania just because Punk will be going into WrestleMania as a champion. I know he's not going to win, but I mean, that way, you know, he'd get to headline WrestleMania. That's the only thing I could see that might happen. Other than that, it could be, again, just very vanilla, cut and dry.
Yeah.
Punk loses.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how The Rock's going to be in this match, though.
Yeah.
And how out of breath is he going to be? Is he going to be
He
standing?
didn't look as bad on the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and he didn't look as juiced either.
True.
So, I mean, like, those muscles, like, the way the human body works, oxygen has to get to those muscles. So the bigger you are, you know, that's why big linemen are, you know, and are always out of breath. Big guys are out of breath. I mean, like, he's just too big. There's a reason why them big muscle-bound dudes aren't doing Iron Man matches.
Yeah.
That's why guys like Punk and Daniel Bryan and Chris Jericho are your guys that go, and Dolph Ziggler, that go 50 minutes into a Royal Rumble or do an Iron Man match, or they can pull off, you know, a 45-minute plus match, just because, like, that's just how it works, you know? It's a grueling entertainment business that they're in, and The Rock is just, he's just good to look at. But, I mean, he's really not good in the ring. He was good. He was decent. Now he's just, it's rough, but it is what it is. It's what we got to deal with for the next month and a half.
Yeah. How many sharpshooters have you seen, Dick? Have you kept count?
What, from
Dwayne.
Dwayne so far? Or just in
He did one
total?
with Cena, for sure.
He did one Cena, he did the Punk one.
Alright, so he's on. He has his moveset down packed.
I can't. Oh, that damn sharpshooter.
I agree with 100%. And the more I try to think of how can I play, you know, devil's advocate and defend him one way or another, I really can't think of anything solid. I mean, it's the same line it always got. I think it's beneficial for them to get more people in the seats. But like you said, I mean, they're always going to get more people in the seats. People are going to
If anything, for us, it's dicking us over because we're going to go anytime the guys come to town.
Yeah.
And it's just jacking up ticket prices. Just like, you know, a Bulls game, you could go see them play, you know, the Charlotte Bobcats and pay $30, and for the same seats against the Lakers, that you really don't give a shit about. They're not that good anymore. But the tickets are still, you know, $200 for the exact same tickets. That's what we're getting right now. We're getting the Showtime effect with The Rock. I mean, it's literally just a reason for them to, you know, dial the knob up on revenue.
Yeah. On a side note, we kind of talked about possibilities of possibly Taker. We've all seen those pictures of Taker.
He looks old as shit.
For 47, he looks pretty bad.
He's got some city miles on him. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, and part of it, I mean, the guy's big, so he's going to take a lot more wear and tear compared to, your Ric Flair and, your other really older people. I mean, yeah, the biceps are big more for him because he's just a bigger guy. But man, he just doesn't look like if he wanted to be at WrestleMania, you would think he would put the effort in one way or another. And
he doesn't look like he's in WrestleMania shape.
Yeah.
And he's never been a guy that you marvel at other than the fact that he's really big and athletic for how big he is.
Yeah.
But he's not like, it's not like he looks like The Rock or looks like Ryback. He looks normal, but that's him in shape.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't even look even close to that now.
I will say this, that the older he got, the better he wrestled. Of course with the experience and whatnot, that played a big portion of it. But when he went the first 12-0, I mean, what great matches did he have there?
They're shit matches. Like if you get that Streak DVD, it's on Netflix. And
right through it. They go right through it.
Awful. Up until, the Mark Henry one was really good, and then the two with Shawn, and then the two with Triple H, those were really good matches. Randy Orton one was really solid.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even wrestle marquee guys. I mean, honestly, it was a bunch of mid-card matches, and on accident, I think he ended up winning everyone, and then halfway through it, Vince is like, wait a minute, I think we've got something here.
Yep. Do I want it to end? No. But is he back this year? No.
I think he should stay out.
End it? Let's see.
End him an era. Should have meant something, damn it.
I agree.
I thought it was great for him to win and for him to not come back.
Yeah.
But then when Triple H came out of the Slammies and said, you haven't seen the last of The Undertaker, that could have been really premature or could have been the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't see any reason why this year.
20-0 just seems...
Yeah, it's a round number.
Perfect.
Yep. Unless he was going to get to 25. But to end it at 23 or 22.
Alright, I don't know if you said this before, but if he ends it with him against Sting, for the one match Sting does at WWE, that would be out there.
You know what? Save yourself the whole year. Come back at 30. Sting. There, right there, man.
I was thinking more 21, make the final one against Sting.
No, WrestleMania 30.
WrestleMania 30.
No, 30. I was like, man, you're asking a lot for him.
The whole year, you don't need to wrestle this year at all. Come back next year for WrestleMania 30. Have it against Sting. And then, do the rumored, the super rumored Punk versus Austin at WrestleMania 30. Punk versus Austin.
We're going. We're fucking selling everything we own.
Please believe I will liquidate. Student loan? Fuck that.
That would be...
Am I the only person, though, in the world of wrestling that doesn't give one or nearly two fucks about Sting? I really don't care.
I honestly...
He's nothing to me.
Honestly, he doesn't mean that much.
I know he's iconic.
Yeah.
He ripped off the Crow. So, I mean, his whole character is a straight rip-off. But, I mean, you're into those movie rip-offs.
I actually never even seen The Crow. Well, let's not even get into
and Vince McMahon didn't see Scarface.
Razor got there we go. Of course, you gotta get a Razor reference. Episode 4. Gotta put it in there. I'm personally not crazy about Sting. I'm not either. But just the idea of a person that's never wrestled for that company to do one match and to do it with technically their cornerstone of that franchise. The man was through it when they were on top, when they were at the way bottom, when they rebuilt, and then when they were on top again. You know what I mean? To see that build up, to see, I technically, and the only thing TNA has
icon versus icon type deal?
Yes. Even though I can care less
Legend versus legend? Yeah, I guess, but I guess it would give him a justified reason to have him in the damn, alumni section of the website.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Dude hasn't wrestled a match.
Yeah.
When they bought WCW, he was like, fuck that, I'm out.
Yeah.
I think he was actually done before that. I think he was I don't think he was around for the
takeover.
Right, but then when he decided to wrestle again, he decided to go with TNA. But honestly, I don't care about Sting, but I like the idea of it. It would be cool.
That's the whole thing behind it.
Legend.
He even says it. The one person he would want to wrestle in the WWE is The Undertaker. So it'd be there it is. Just try to get it. I mean, if Triple H smoothed over the relations with Bruno, he can do it with Sting. Come on, man.
I could definitely see that. But one thing that, and just to play the other side, is that they're going to be pretty old. How solid of a match can they pull
Sting
off?
is what, in his 50s already, I think? He's in his low 50s.
Sting's old.
And then you got Taker. Next year would be,
So I don't know if they can even pull off a
WCW.
Both in good shape, though. I've seen pictures of Sting on the internet, and the dude's still pretty big.
There.
But it is what it is. I don't care.
Cool. So we went kind of on a tangent on that side, kind of to figure out the, speculation of what can happen, all possibilities. We have, the Divas match. Cool. That wraps up the show. Since doesn't really matter who wins. Caitlyn versus Snuka, so
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Road to WrestleMania is coming up then, yeah, right?
Yep. After that, I mean, all this at the end of the tunnel, we have WrestleMania, and at WrestleMania, as of right now, how the card is building up, I think we made some decent predictions and some crazy speculation of what can happen once we get, finally to WrestleMania. My hope is that we get out of WrestleMania and Dolph Ziggler is on top. Some way or another, he looks damn good for the company. Because like Roto alluded to earlier, you're building him so much this entire year. Let's get it going. The show off hasn't gotten the show to start, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? Get him going come WrestleMania. Is my number one build-up for WrestleMania. To be honest, from what we're seeing right now, my hype meter for WrestleMania is not that high. Maybe because we're not getting there yet. And yes, we're going to a live Raw show, so come March 11th, I think we're going to be pretty hyped, regardless of what the card will have. But as of right now, my hype for WrestleMania is not that great.
Yeah.
But it's the biggest show, so Vince is going to have some sort of dance-off in between, some sort of, gimmick, joke one way or another. Let's just hope X-Pac isn't anywhere near it. But other than that, my hype for WrestleMania still hasn't gotten going. But come Elimination Chamber, I think we're going to have a decent push. And definitely come that Raw show, I think I'm going to be ready to go come WrestleMania. What about you, Dick? What do you got to the left to close out the show?
That kind of echoing what you said. I mean, right now we're kind of just almost going through the motions until this pay-per-view is done, and then afterwards we'll see where the World Heavyweight Championship's going to be, where that feud's going to be. Is Ziggler going to have it?
Yep.
And
will they unify it?
what would they do? Yeah, what would they do with Ryback? Is Ryback going to go against Big Show? Would he be going against Mark Henry? More
Will Miz tear his ACL?
Will Miz get a belt? Or
Or will he drop someone on their head?
Ouch.
Vintage Miz!
Ouch. I haven't had that.
No, he still has that scar on his head from when Kofi,
Don't try to defend him.
My
What?
God.
I'm not trying to say,
There's a 4-year-old out there that has a worse scar from falling off his damn bike.
Jeez.
For God's sakes. He nearly ended a man's life the other night.
and a man who saved another man's life at
True.
that too, punk.
Yeah,
True. He's the savior.
Same backstage.
What about you, Roto? How's your hype for WrestleMania? What are you looking down the road?
You know what? I always get hyped for WrestleMania. I'd be fooling you if I said I didn't. Right now, no, because we got this roadblock that is, Elimination Chamber in the way. But honestly, by the time the show's over, we're gonna be hyped for WrestleMania. I have a really good feeling about it.
Our road trip down to Indy for Raw is gonna be.
It's gonna be intense. I'm not driving.
I think it's red.
Yeah, I'm gonna get drunk as hell.
Plan
I know you're straight edge, but
A. I'll drive it up, bro. I'll take care of you.
Oh yeah.
that means, are you driving on the way down?
I'll drive back.
Okay, so that
Oh,
means me and you can get drunk as hell down
Oh
there.
hell.
On the way
Yes.
back.
Oh yeah.
We'll
Oh,
take care of you.
Nice.
Handful of Steve Weisers.
I like it.
We'll give you the Kurt Angle milk.
Oh,
There we
I like
go.
it. Would appreciate it. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in to episode number 4 of Life on the Midcard. I have been Moosifer. You can follow me on Twitter at Moosifer, MOOSIFUR 49. Don't forget to follow us on our Twitter handle, which is what, Roto?
It's at MidCard Radio.
Where you can find all things Bo Dallas, Razor Ramon, The Miz. You'll hear from us one way or another. You'll probably see a couple of memes we put up.
What did I get voted out for? I can't wait till he's a nobody. Oh wait, he already is. That was 3 weeks ago.
Oh
Jack.
my god.
Again, thank you for tuning in. This is Moosifer signing off, and to my left we got
Dick the Knife at Dasani Xcore, DASANIXCORE. Again at MidCard Radio.
And other than your local bar or tavern, you can find me at hi, my name is Rody with a Y. Yeah, that's about it. Those are 2 places I hang out. Bars and Twitter.
There you go.
Not Google Plus Hangouts, just Twitter.
Did that take off?
Is it even? Nope.
Never.
Never.
Never,
ever.
Make sure you tune in next week for episode number 5.